Finally caused a cool day today, you know. But practice has been going very well. Scrimmage some on Saturday. I think we ran somewhere in the neighborhood of 125 to 130 plays. Just like the way the attitude is right now and how guys are out competing. You know, offensively, we continue to get better. Defensively, we're still putting it together, but, putting the guys in the right place. Injury-wise, we were able to get some guys back, and now that we're able to get them back like Tank and Ridgeway, now we can start just on defense, just putting them in the right place and just making sure that, we less than 2 weeks away. And so just want to make sure that, we get the guys ready and they just continue to improve. Summer school ended on yesterday, so now that we have a different schedule now, and now we can get the guys and get more time with them.
I will open it up. Just hands for questions.
Anybody standing out in the scrimmage that you want to mention?
You look at us on offense, the guy that really stood out was the two running backs, Deontay Foreman and Chris Warren. Really had a good day running the football, running it downhill, running behind their pads. Just two big old backs, and it's hard. Defensively, they didn't want to tackle them as the scrimmage went on. And then Tyrone made some really good throws. Even Gerard came in and was able to be very effective. And receiver-wise, you look at Burt and the plays he made, and the guy at receiver that really had a good day was DJ. Had a reverse for a touchdown, had a long throw for a touchdown. A man even caught one and did a double backwards flip. Yeah.
Coach, how far along are you in deciding which of the freshmen are going to play and contribute?
When you look at those freshmen, they're all out there competing. I look at the offensive side. Vahi is competing there in the offensive line. You already have Connor. And then you look at Chris Warren at running back. You look at Bird outside at wide receiver, Bird and Newsome. And then you look on the defensive side, all three of the corners with Holden Hill, with Chris Boyd, and also with Devontae. They all are looking good at the corner. Davis, they all three are looking good. And then at linebacker, Hager has he's Saturday, just nothing severe, just had a tweak of his shoulder, but was really playing well. The thing about him, he has such a great attitude, can find the football, and runs downhill to go hit the ball. And Wheeler's is playing well inside. And then, being a surprise for us is a Menahue. Just his athletic ability, have him outside of the Fox position. A guy didn't know if he could just drop in open space, but a tall guy can cover up a lot of ground, has long arms. But just with those freshmen, you just don't know how many we're going to play, but a lot of them has an opportunity to.
Who's the best, through your whole time as a coach, who's the best freshman that you've ever coached when you came in and just had a big year?
That's just hard to say because I've been around some outstanding freshmen. You had to think back of that championship team in Florida. You had Percy, you had Tebow, you had some guys, and then you had Spikes and those guys on defense. It's just hard to say, which one's the best one I've ever been around. Is the thing about freshmen, they want to come in. They come in with a lot of excitement to them, a lot of enthusiasm, and they work. And that's what we have right now. You have a group that are working.
Charlie, how do you feel about the offense right now? Just the overall picture and the up-tempo offense?
Just surprised on how well right now that we're functioning, and the thing about it is that we're going out, and each day we're getting better. We haven't taken a step back yet, and just overall just pleased with we're running the ball. And I told our team, I said the thing we have to do, we're going to win. We have to play great defense. So we're going to have to play great defense. We're going to have to run the ball. We're going to have to protect the quarterback. Have to be really good in the special teams and control the clock. If those things happen for us, then we have a chance. No, Jay Gray is just nicked up. I think he had the other day he had an ankle maybe, and now I think yesterday made hurt an elbow, but he's fine though. But it's fun just watching those other two guys run.
Charlie, where does Malik have to come the furthest, I guess, at middle, and talk about his experience and how it shapes up for him to handle that at this level?
Well, the thing about on defense, you're good up front right now, so I don't. I told Malik, there's no pressure on him. He just got to, get out there and just go play like everyone else. But when you look at our defensive front, if Tank plays well and Ridgeway, then you have Shiro, you have a lot of body there. So Spooner, Bryce Cottrell is having a really good camp. Chris Nelson is thrown into that mix now. And then you look at the Fox, you go Nation, you go Blewett, and then or Derek Roberson. Derek Roberson is one of those guys that is so athletic that he could put his hand on the ground and go rush the passer. So we have us a good mixture there at the defensive front. I was teasing Brick the other day. I said, my God, we got 12 or 13 guys that can go in the game and play and be effective playing. Where when they run out there, you don't say who we're putting in. I'm sorry.
Holton, how was he with
When we first started camp, he had a knee problem, but then he's bounced back. And, you look at him, and he looks so thin. And I was teasing him the other day, and he says, Coach, I weigh 197. I said, no way. So I put him on the scale, and he weighed 197. But he's just long, and he's just athletic. A guy can cover you up in coverage, can run. And then, we throw a lot of deep balls, and he's yet to get one thrown up over his head. So athletic back there. Him and Chris Boyd, all three of those guys, Davis, they're all three are really three really good corners.
What's the energy level been like at practices?
Oh, a ton of energy. Last night we practiced. We practiced late in the evening. It's a lot of juice, a lot of energy. That's what I always talk about. I always tell them, it's a work day, so you're going to come to work. Because we're not going to take a day off. So if you don't come out here with the right attitude, we're going to start practice all over again, and I'm going to get it in, so I'm going to get mine out of you. But then they bounced back this morning and still had a lot of energy. But they know they just have one today, so they have the rest of the day off, so they can go and rest some. But I just been just surprised about just how much energy we've had.
What's impressed you about him?
Value's a big, you talk about running the ball downhill, can cover up a guy and can move him off the line of scrimmage. He's still learning. If something needs to work on, just in the passing situations, being able to making sure that he can just protect the quarterback, but just big and strong and physical, and loves it. Comes out, smiles all the time, but just his overall attitude.
Is there a separation yet between Tyrone and Gerard, and how do you view the competition?
Yeah, I don't know how big the separation is, but if you look at it, and the only reason why, if you look at Tyrone, played a lot last year, so then he just came in just really controlling the offense, throwing the ball very well, hasn't thrown many interceptions out there, and that's what I told him just the other day. I said, what's been a surprise of you haven't thrown a bad ball, and you're putting the ball in the right people's hands. And then even with Hurd, he's doing the things that we ask him to do. And I told him, I said, the first game both of you are going to play, so it's you're going to go in. And I was teasing her today. I said, let me tell you right now, when you go in that game and something happens, if it ain't good, I'm just going to do that right there. It just means you just keep going to the locker room. No, come on, and he said, I'll show you, Coach. I'll show you. That's what you want from him.
Coach, how much Notre Dame prep have you guys done, and just can you give me your impressions of them overall?
Well, right now, and if you go downstairs, we have the monitors downstairs, so the Notre Dame game's just been continuously running. And I don't want to do anything just yet because we're still ourselves installing and making sure that our players can learn our system both on offense and defense. But, just try to get a little work in each and every day where we have a scout period and it's mostly dedicated to the Notre Dame and just making sure that, guys know how to fit blocks. These are their key plays, and this is what they do on defense. So that's happening each and every day.
Charlie, with Deshaun out, with Patel, how have you seen Jason Hall handling the safety position?
Well, Jay Hall's done it. And you look at him; he's a starter, so he should do very well. And you would expect improvement from his first year to his second year. And then the thing about it, Dylan Haynes is back there, so you have those two guys, and a guy that Cobra is very impressive back there right now. But what happens when you get freshmen and you get guys that can play, and the upperclassmen, they know if you can play or not. Then they step up their game, and that's what has happened because those young guys are really making them step up their game. But it's been fun to watch.
With your quarterbacks, real quick, how much do you think Sean has personally invested in getting Tyrone better or getting Gerard better? How much has he personally taken that responsibility?
Oh, he's put a lot into it, and that's the thing about Watt. He's such a good coach, and the players, he's so detailed. And it's all about just coaching the little things, and that's where he does a great job. But if you and their attitudes are totally different, because Tyrone is more focused because now he knows that him and Gerard are the quarterbacks, so they know that in order for us to win, they have to play well. And plus, I think Tyrone has kind of got a chip on his shoulder because he want to prove to everybody that he can play quarterback. But Sean is doing an amazing job with both of those players.
Coach, what's your comfort level now compared to this time last year?
Well, I think what I have said is last year and I keep saying it. I thought when I walked in I was just going to push a button and then it was just gonna go, but now just being here, it's all about just players understanding and knowing who you are. And now they know that with our coaching staff, they know exactly who we are and what our expectations. Now we go out to practice, and it's not one of those, okay, what do we have now? Blow the whistle, hey guys, we're moving on to the next period, and they just go. Whereas, last year they was trying to figure it all out. Okay, what does he want? What's his tempo? How fast does he want us to go? And I don't have those questions now. So it's been fun just going out there. And what's been amazing is just the seniors and just their leadership. Duke has been great. Duke has been great coaching the young guys, but it's amazing how he has just taken hold of Boyd and Hill and Davis, and they all watch Duke, and they'll tell you, well, Duke did it wrong, then how can Coach yell at me? But just to watch Pete Jenkins work, and then you go on offense with Sid and Taylor, and just it's amazing. Even I knock on wood, my man DeJay's even different now. That's why I had it. Hey, you better hit that. You better hit it again. But I tell you what, it's been fun watching DeJay. He comes out there and doesn't say a word, and it's every day, even after practice. He's standing after practice catching balls. Him and Hurd out there throwing balls after practice. Before practice, he picks up a rubber ball and tells a receiver, and they're going down the field playing catch back and forth. And I'm sitting there like I said to him, I said, "Wow, is this the guy? Is this the guy I know?" But he's just him and Marcus. They both are doing an amazing job.
Is Jay going to be your returner, or do you have another plan there?
Well, where we're fortunate right now is a bunch of guys that can return. Not only the Jay, Duke is looking good, Chris Boyd is looking good, Newsome. Well, looking back there now, last year you was just trying to find one guy just to catch the ball. Just don't worry about returning, just get it caught. But you look back there and you're trying to figure out now who are we going to really put back there. And you want to make sure the ball is caught more than anything. But DeJay's one that we're looking at. And I tell you, Deontay Foreman is big, as strong as he is on kickoff return. And even Jay Gray. We're sitting there the other day in special teams meeting, and I was going through the punt, and Jay Gray walks in and he says, "Coach, I want to be on special teams. Will you put me on the punt team?" Then you know what happened? Now everybody wants to be on the punt team because Jay Gray walks in there and says, "Hey, Coach." Now all of them say, "Hey, Coach, get me on this punt." Listen, I can't put everybody out there, but I wouldn't put the right guys. But just that attitude, here you are, you're starting running back, and he wants to go run down on the punt team and make a tackle. And the guy said, but that's the attitude that I'm talking about now. That's kind of just creeping into the team.
Charlie, there was a lot of hype on this freshman group coming in. What do you like about the attitude that they're showing you involved?
I tell this freshman group, I met with them right when they got in June, and I had a meeting with the freshman group. And I said, listen, so much is going to be said about you, but the thing I don't want you to do is just lose your confidence. A lot of you guys have a lot of confidence, and I want you to have that confidence because it's what we're lacking right now. We need that. And it hasn't changed because you walk out there and practice, and we play the music. You hear us play the music, and the only guys that really dancing are the freshmen. So I just kind of sit back and look at it and say, it's like, wow, they have no idea, but they haven't been in a game yet. But it's just overall, it's amazing just watching those young guys. And Chris Boyd's the one that keeps them going. Has so much just liveliness to him. It's been fun.
Does it remind you at all that the spark that group in 2011 gave you at Louisville?
Yeah, it's similar to that group because you have a bunch of talent in this group. Because, like I said, you look at Chris Boyd at running back, and you look at Johnson at running back. You look at Tristan. You have three big running backs back there, and then the guy that McNeil is one of those guys that you can play outside at wide receiver. You can put him inside at tight end. He can be your floater, but he is so. I mean, you get him in open field, create a mismatch for him. But the thing about it with this group of freshmen is they continue to push. You know, they're not backing away, but the upperclassmen have brought them in. And that's what I think about. Like last season when Seth asked me, I don't know if they really bought them in last year. This year they are really. It's just totally different with that group of freshmen because they understand that they're going to need that group.
Can you give us
What
an
makes you
update on
think
Clarington?
that,
Can you give us an update on Clarington staff?
What has happened is with Clarington, the NCAA is going to make a decision this week on his status, and that could be just any day. I hope it's the day. He hopes it's the day, but it just said, as soon as they make that decision, because with the university everything's good, but it's the NCAA that is we're waiting on it to come from them.
Charlie, what makes you think Tyrone can handle adversity? If he gets down in a situation at Notre Dame, if he can handle it?
Well, sometimes when you've been knocked down, you can pick yourself up, and I think he's been one of those guys who's been knocked down. And if you get knocked down and brush your shoulder off, but you got to have enough around you, and that's what I said to him. That's why I said to their staff is that you just don't want to put it all in his hands. We have to play better up front. We have to be able to block people. If we can block people and move them off the line of scrimmage and turn around and hand that ball off to Jay Gray and those running backs and just create a seam, then it's going to make it better for Tyrone. And then you have guys that can make the catches with Marcus, DeJay, with Burt, with Newsom, with all those guys out there. Amani Foreman, who's having a really good camp. If those guys can make the catches and take the pressure off of Tyrone, then it's going to make it easier for him. Because you look at most quarterbacks, they have that, and they have enough around them that makes them good.
What is his body language and stuff that got, you were like, hey, come on.
Oh, it's totally different now. No, his body language, it's not one of those where he walks around with his head down. He can't do that anymore. And I told him that, no, it's none of that anymore.
But still, though, are you sure that if he gets lit up first drive in South Bend,
Well,
he'll be there?
that's the question. Will he get lit up? Can we mix it up enough on offense where we help him too? And it is. And I tell you this, Notre Dame has a great defense. So it's going to be a time where he walk out there and it may be bang, 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 and we're off the field. But it's more of him. Can he handle it and make sure that, one bad play, he just don't create another bad play. And we've seen that where, you throw an interception and the next play is an interception. And I told him, I said, if you think about it, Tyrone, you were playing well last season early, and then late is when it kind of caved in on you. And so now it's all about you getting your attitude back and bouncing back and making it happen. But it's so much that has to happen. And the whole team, it's more of us, the whole team is just getting it all together.
Charlie, compared to last year when you found out it wasn't as easy as just pushing a button to get it to work, and your expectations might have come down in preseason a little bit. Do you feel like your expectations are rising this preseason as the more you watch your team?
Well, we're a young team, and it's still going to take a lot of work. It's going to take everybody doing their part and understanding it's a team effort, and we don't need and we don't have individuals, but it's going to take the whole team to get it accomplished.
Two more guys.
How's Armonte Foreman doing?
Really good. Amonte is a deep ball threat for us. It's call a deep one there Saturday, but he's doing really good.
Charlie, how clear of a picture do you think you get in camp? Because you don't get to scrimmage other teams, you don't get preseason games. In your experience, what you see in camp, has it been a pretty good picture of what you get when you guys take the field?
Well, that's a good one, Roger, because you really don't know what that picture is going to be till you take the field. And it looks good out there at practice where all the parts are moving and you're kind of putting it all together. And then all of a sudden you walk into South Bend and that's going to be a hostile environment for us. You think about it, Saturday night, very challenging schedule, but we're walking into against a really good football team. Now, how is our team how are we gonna be able to just come together and go play and play as a team and just fight through it? It's gonna be some adversity. It's gonna be, they're gonna make plays. We're gonna make plays, but you really don't know. And now when you step out there, can we play a penalty? Not so much a penalty-free game, but can we play smart and make the right decisions on the offense and then on defense and in the kicking game? You really don't know that until all of a sudden we strike it up and go out there and go play.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
All right, Alex.